Hello guys, today I want to show you the build of the mage class in Warhammer Chaosbane that is kind of centered around damage reduction. So if you are wondering about a build that can do some of the bosses, actually all of the bosses on Chaos 5 difficulty for this class, this is what you may want to try out. First let's start off with the god skills. This is what I have at the moment. I just reworked this passive tree. So before I had this skill as well as this one and this node, but I thought instead of taking all those points for that 10% maximum HP, I could take those nodes here, because I had it all the way until continuity mastered. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes for the 10% HP. Kinda slower cooldowns, but that's fine. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I had some spare points that I decided to put into some damage, cost reduction and critical damage. Alternatively, we could get 2% more HP, or we could get some armor or whatever. There's various things we could do, but oh, there's also cooldown reduction if you want, instead of those points. So if you needed to negate that cooldown reduction, of course you could go for this. Basically, we are stacking damage reduction, that's why we need this. This gives us 20%. We do not need this one, because the version 2 gives us more damage reduction. This thing, so we are stacking those two passives. And we are stacking some damage reduction from this if we want to, not all the time, but sometimes I actually put this on myself for extra damage reduction. As for the gear, we have many sources of damage reduction for the gear. One of them is the damage reduction on crit from this ring. Another good source would be this amulet, but I'm not wearing it now because I don't have one with attack. Like this Phoenix one, but instead of extra gold, it would give some attack. It will be by hands better with some attack compared to. From the weapon we're getting another 20% damage reduction, but we're also getting 50% damage and 10% crit chance while we're standing still. And we would be standing still a lot with this build on bosses, especially while casting Breath of Fire. If you're fighting mobs, I would suggest going for Breath of Fire too, if you're fighting trash mobs instead of bosses, because it has a wider range, wider AoE cone. It's not reaching far, but it can reach wider groups of mobs. So for the gear, we're stacking HP on everything besides the weapons, although this is just debatable. You could probably just remove some HP mods, go for damage if you think you can survive. I just thought that on bosses I need all that HP and I wouldn't mind killing them slower. But if you think you do not need as much HP, if you think you can survive, go ahead, change all that HP for crit damage and crit chance and flat damage. Or even armor piercing, it would also help you. Another source of damage reduction, what could it be? So we have a damage boost of 50 from this skill, we have a damage boost of 50 from this skill. There's 20% damage reduction here, 20% damage reduction here. You could get 30% from the amulet. So I think that pretty much is it for the damage reduction that we are stacking. You could get extra 25% damage on monsters from this skill, which would stack with the 50 from this one and the 40 from this thing and the 50 from this thing. So that's 165% damage while you're standing still, and while those things proc. Like if there's a burning enemy nearby, and there would be at least one. Of course, Soulfire may not be the best. You might want to replace the Soulfire. Some people I've seen play with the stuff that makes an aura around you. If you don't think you need that extra damage reduction and crit chance, sure, you can go ahead for that as well. I don't think I need to say why I'm using this set. It gives us the master, the heroic version of this skill, which is amazing. Increased health, it gives decent damage, it knocks back enemies, and it gives you some energy regen to mitigate some of the cost from Breath of Fire. This build does not take the energy regen passive, so you might have to try and spam Akshi Missile every now and then. And since you would be wondering about whether the build is viable in gameplay, I will try and find a decent map to do. A decent Grand Relic. Hopefully it would not be the mod that loses armor. Yeah, Hero's armor reduces over time, you end up just getting one shot. So this cannot do all content, such as such mods, but let's just try a different one. I farmed up some gold so we can try. Hero loses enemy energy. Maybe this would be doable, maybe. I'll see how it goes. There are some monsters that are very imbalanced on Hero 5. On Chaos 5. I don't know why, but there are monsters that just purely one-shot you, and just little monsters, not the elites. The elites and the bosses are fine. They cannot one-shot me. But some monsters seem to have some sort of damage. Like there's those raptor guys in the Icelands. In here there's those mages that could one-shot us. You can see the build may not be as damage oriented as some other builds I've seen out there, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done when it comes to bosses.
I should wait
and this
more.
is pretty build as well.
Requires
spacebar, so it gives you extra slow, extra damage to the enemy.
I should wait some more.
You can also move this. I prefer the mages that could one-shot us with this skill.
I should wait some more. Perfection requires patience. Perfection requires
But yeah, this is kind of the build that could one-shot some enemies. But also it could get one-shot by some enemies if you're doing the incorrect mod, such as mod that reduces your armor. So maybe this is why I was getting one-shot before,
My magic is not ready
of that mob. I don't know if it's worth killing this elite, so maybe let's just keep moving.
I should wait.
This one is worth killing though.
Perfection requires patience.
This one, I think is he or the one behind him.
My magic is not ready yet.
As you can see, yeah, the monsters don't die as fast as with the damage build, but you can modify the build. HP from the armor pieces to damage. It doesn't seem like they're gonna kill me easy, now that I realized not doing the armor reduction mod is kinda not okay.
My spells need more power.
I'll
Perfection
for it,
requires
I'll experiment, see how it goes. It probably is gonna be very good.
My spells need more power. My magic is not ready yet. Perfection requires patience.
Just go into Chaos 1 or Chaos 2. The things die extremely fast.
My magic is not
when you start feeling your blood rage, your bloodlust, and just group monsters and get them to drop extra fragments.
My
So yeah,
magic is
suddenly it's
not
like this
ready
mage
yet.
I skipped are kind of not worth doing. I'll just rush to the boss wherever I can and ignore most group
Perfection
monsters.
requires patience.
I'm just gonna show you the boss fight. But yeah, this is kind of shit tons of damage reduction you could stack. And from here on you just reduce the defensive abilities, reduce the HP of the build and add damage until you
My magic
think
is
the
not ready
damage
yet.
is enough and the HP is at its limit of what you can handle.
I should wait
So I'm
some
showing
more.
you the defensive version. You can modify it yourself with gem fragments
Perfection
to be
requires
more
patience. My
you can
magic is
handle.
not ready.
I don't mind killing things slightly slower but being able to survive. But I will try later on today on my streams a version where the build does more
My
damage,
magic is not ready yet.
more damage oriented things in my armor. I just need to farm some more, but
Perfection
until then,
requires patience.
keep in mind this is what I'm using. Of course, there's a lot of the gear that I don't need. A lot of mods on my gear are like counter attack and things like that. And there's also chance mods on my gear as well, which I really don't need anymore. The game is pretty rewarding when it comes to items. You just have to pray to RNGs for the correct drops, but the drops will be there.
Perfection
those.
requires patience.
So you can see it's doing okay damage. It's doing okay damage. The way it is, the way I've set it up, it's not the best, but this is Chaos 5 after all. And just to confirm that it's Chaos 5, after this boss fight I'll just go to the difficulty option so you can see it
My
yourself.
magic is not ready yet.
I wish it would show what difficulty someone is doing.
I should wait some more.
So you're opening difficulty.
My magic is not ready yet. Perfection requires patience.
So when those big guys die, just let them explode first. Because this could end up one-shotting you. Although probably I could tank it with this build, but just in case.
Perfection requires patience.
Now it doesn't seem to be that bad. Okay, I think I'm getting close to the boss. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, we're not the fastest at killing him, but it's fine, I think. Just find out how much HP you can handle and just remove some of the mods. I've put some of the HP mods on the armor and gradually add either crit chance, crit damage or flat damage or even armor piercing. You can try and go for some getting your crit chance to like 40 something, so that once we stay static it's 50, because you can see now I'm static and I have 40 crit chance. So get the crit damage to 300 and how much can we get? If you remove all the HP mods, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Each of those things could give you 20 crit damage. So if you think 40 crit chance is okay, go for 8 times 20, so 160 more crit damage. This would give you, as you can see, up to 400 and something crit damage. If you think 40 is okay. Alternatively, you could get, instead of 160 more crit damage, you could get 100 more crit damage, and you could get 15 more crit chance. Or 10 more crit chance and some damage, like 300 or 240
My magic
damage,
is not
whatever
ready
the limit
yet.
was from a single piece.
My magic is
I
not
found a
ready.
great image someone posted on Reddit, some Twitch user. I will
Perfection
check after this
requires
boss fight and
patience.
give you the name of the guy. That made an image that shows all the
Perfection
different
requires
combinations for the mods,
Perfection
for the
requires
item
patience.
mods that you get from gems.
Perfection
As
requires
you can see, I'm not the best at using the build as well. Some
perfection
build
requires patience.
I did the theory crap.
My magic is not ready yet.
I'm not using my breath
My magic
time
is
I
not
should.
ready yet.
I'm not using many things all the time. I should try to spam some of the skills as soon as they're ready. I'm not sure whether this is reducing my damage, this blue circle, but it doesn't seem to be doing too much
I
damage to
should
me.
wait some more. Perfection requires patience. I should wait some more.
You could probably get rid of skills like this dome that gives me 25 extra damage and get missiles taken care of, slows enemies and stuff. You could probably instead of that
I
put
should wait
firewall,
some more.
or you could put a tornado that sucks in enemies in, the blue tornado, or a fire tornado that knocks them back, whichever you prefer. So there's many variations, but won't, and you might wanna have something to help deal with them.
My spells need more power. My magic is not ready yet.
So as you can see, we dealt with this.
My magic is not ready yet.
I came up close once because I wasn't
Am I too
managing
weak
my...
to use my magic? Perfection.
But as long as you have your
I should
potion,
conserve my energy.
as long as you have blinding light, you should be fine. Now let's quickly return to the town. There are two chests here, I'll quickly get them.
Perfection requires patience.
Okay, some more items here. There's one more chest there, and then the big chest in the middle.
Perfection requires patience.
So I'll show you now in the town that this is the difficulty, the final difficulty, just so everything is clear. I should have shown it before I entered the dungeon to just avoid having to wait for this loading. So if we go to change difficulty, you can see it scales 5. So the build works, it's viable. It's not the best for the damage on the damage side, but it could go better. It could go better. There are a lot of things in the gear I would like to change. This one has wood quality. I'd like to put something more useful. Counter-attack damage. I'd like to put something more useful. Everywhere where I have counter-attack damage, I think could be changed for something more useful to a mage. So yeah, the build could be improved. Of course, you might want to farm Chaos 1 before you augment your gear. Farm Chaos 1, but just get those items. Get this ring for the damage reduction. If you think you don't need it, you can replace it with something else. Get this one to keep healing our HP and energy. This is a crucial one if you want to keep spamming Breath of Fire. Even with that, it's still not enough. If you think you don't need all that damage reduction, then I would suggest maybe not going for this skill, or maybe not going for this skill, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. All those 13 points could probably be spent going towards this skill here. Let's see. This requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it is possible to get rid of this HP and to get rid of things like those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12 points from here, and those 4, that's gonna be 16. So you would need some more. Maybe you could get rid of this HP too. There are things you could do. Ideally you could try and get this if you really need that energy, if you don't need that damage reduction. It is a good choice. I'll keep experimenting to see what the most optimal version of this build would be, and I'll update this video. Thanks again for watching. If you do enjoy the content and want to see more, I would like to hear from you in the comments or a private message, whatever is more convenient for you. You could also check out my social media and Twitch, etc. links in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate any likes, comments and shares. It would help my channel grow. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Keep it cool, guys.